So episode 1 of Moon Knight just dropped on Disney Plus, and a lot of you guys are probably wondering, no, Toby Washi, I haven't seen Moon Knight because I'm not a real comic book fan and I'm just an MCU tard, and I don't know who Moon Knight is, so I would appreciate it if you let me know if this is mid or and if I should even watch it or not. And let me be the first one to say that this show has the potential to be one of the best Marvel has ever made. I was a little bit skeptical about it when they announced it was a TV show because superhero shows have had a history of being pretty bad. But Marvel has had a lot of success with their TV shows in the recent years, like Daredevil, WandaVision, Loki, Falcon and Winter Soldier, What If, etc. So I'm certain that they'll do this series justice, and it actually might be better for Moon Knight to get a TV show because he's not like Superman or Batman in the sense that a lot of people don't know who he is or his origin story, so giving him a TV show might help give Marvel more time to flesh his character out. I'm actually mad that it's coming out weekly because I already can't wait for the next episode. I've been waiting for Moon Knight to get a media representation forever, like since Spider-Man Webs of Shadows. And until today, all we had were a few cameos of him in Ultimate Spider-Man, so you know I'm hype as ever to watch this series unfold. So the story starts from the perspective of the main character, Stephen Grant, and I actually really like his character. He's charmingly sarcastic and really funny, which is refreshing for a Marvel project because you know how much they love their corny humor. I really enjoy the dynamic between the different voices in his head, and I hope that this doesn't become another Venom thing where it's always making jokes and trying to be funny all the time. I mean, it worked okay for Venom, but I think in this show it would sort of kill the more serious tone it has. But it doesn't look like that's gonna happen because the only semblance of a joke that it makes is calling him an idiot all the time and threatening to kill him and Mark if he loses the Scarab. But I don't believe it was joking. I think it was serious, and I'm just really I really think his voice is hilarious. Whoever voices that voice in his head, you did an excellent job, bro. You're a clown. And I don't know if it's just because my Moon Knight knowledge is pretty poor, but the show does a good job of keeping the viewer in the dark. Like, you watch a Spider-Man movie and you know at some point he's gonna get bit by a spider, Uncle Ben's gonna die, and then he's gonna make a Spider-Man costume and start fighting crime. And like I said, this may be because I don't know too much about the character, and using Spider-Man as an example is pretty bad since there have been like 5 Spider-Mans in the past like 10 years. But I was just as confused as Steven was the entire episode. I mean, the dude loses all control of his body when he falls asleep. Then when he wakes up, several hours or even days have passed and he has no idea what happens to him when he's asleep. He even missed his date because of it, and I felt bad for the dude because that lady that asked him out was fine as hell. That couldn't have been me. I don't care if Jesus himself was hosting my body. I would have made it to that date. And then on top of that, he has not 1 but 2 different people renting out his body like a 1-bedroom apartment. And whichever one of them used it last left him stranded in the middle of nowhere with a dislocated jaw. Shit, if I was him, I'd chain myself to the bed too. And did I mention this show is actually hilarious? Like, when I say they do a good job of making actual tasteful jokes and not the classic Marvel cheese fest, and even the Marvel type jokes they made were funny. Like in the museum when he makes the joke about Avatar being an anime, or in the elevator where he wakes up from one of his like Moon Knight acid trips and the lady sees him screaming in the elevator and she gets all scared and gets to banging on her roommate's door. Like, that's funny, Marvel. I like that, even though that's kind of corny, but you know, it was better. Okay, here's a little theory for you guys. So we already know that Mark is living inside of Steven's body somehow, but there's another entity inside of him that talks to both Mark and Steven at the same time. And when they're in the museum, Arthur mentions that the Scarab Steven found belongs to Amit and that she's had avatars in the past. So I'm thinking that Amit is the second voice in Steven's head and he is her avatar, and that's why she didn't let Steven give Arthur the Scarab, because it's her shit and she wants to keep it. But that's just a theory. A game theory. But anyway, it's still too early to give anything a definitive rating, so I'm gonna make another video when the season concludes and they've had more time to fuck it up before I say if it's good or not. But until next time, it's been your boy Toby Washi Sensei, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace. With anime becoming a more commonly accepted medium of entertainment, a lot of you guys are probably thinking, hey, as you can imagine, I have a lot of getting into anime, but I don't know where to start, and I'm afraid that that's my friend. And when I saw the reveal trailer for the continuation, I was pretty on animated. I was too busy absorbing some bullshit mid-ass shows like Riverdale and Grey's Anatomy. It's like the people at Mappa songs